Still going. Here we go. So, you are a human. You're not a machine. Love is where you came from. All love is that they took what love is and they merged that energy with a false identity. That's why you always long for the love, right? You always long for what it is. Why is that? Because you are what it is that to be longing for. Once you get there, though, there is no more want. There is no more of this. It's no more struggle. The only want and desire is to interact, do better, bigger things, but in that category of things, not on the other sense. So this technology, you love it so much, right? You give all it in for that, pretty much. But guess what? We are the humans that are not the technology. You're not this technology. You go above and beyond this technology by taking care of other things first. Stepping outside of the demand or the control, whoever's controlling your life. You don't like, once you get into a better system of itself, once it becomes that better system of itself and gets flowing, then you'll be able to understand and have it in function to be doing this. It's not just because that you want to be doing that or whatever and you think that you can't. You all can. Once you're in it though, next generation, they do not know what the control was. They get that out of their mind. A lot of people might be getting into bliss states and other things, accessing more of their capabilities because you're in a free state to do so. And then also that when you get into these other, characteristics with, this world right now, but they won't with the next generation, and they will always have what they're always born with, like everybody else on the planet, love, and then you slowly grow up over time, and then you less of a living, right? You feel less living than you were when you were a child. But why? They took away that from you. They control you, but you actually put it back into your senses. You put it where it puts value into the real truth that would take care of this self, of this earth, this self. And we're a part of it. We give that life force. We live. We don't die. And we thrive here. Right now, would you rather put technology first and not take care of this problem? And then end up nuking yourselves and then not giving the love to your generation, but giving the love just to the technology? You give the love to where it needs it. And it hits home when it does. That's why when you go interact with other people, you feel it a little bit more. That's the real living energy that we use and experience. Now, without that, you have no clue of what the real reality is then. If you can't connect with real living beings and be that is the source of what we are. That's in our nature. That is what life is. Now, if we're into technology and stuff, that is outside of life. We need to know how to handle what's going on this planet now, because it's not going good. We handle that good. We get on a different function of itself, where we put good things first, right things first, and then we live in that reality with our technology the way it should be. When you bully somebody else, other people in the world catch on to the trend of bullying, right? Then that becomes a thing in reality, just like when you do this. But every aspect that shows itself is real reality of the cause and effect. And if you see it in your own life, of the things that you own done, that's sometimes what changes people. But guess what? That's a real matter of fact information from the sun, everything, all living life. It's all information, consciousness, feeling. Everything is what it is. The feeling of that tree or anything that you look at, you have a feeling or that sense of experience of an emotion of some sort, no matter on what degree, is because that's a fluctuating of the energy that you really are. But you are a unique facet. It doesn't mean that we're not one just because we're like this. It's just because the world's segregated like that. Because when we're there, we have that, and we come here. It's all good until we start catching on to what's happening. And there's a lot of pain. But you got to realize that this is a planet. This is not a machine. You treat it like a machine. Machine's onto yourself. You don't get the treatment from God. you're in misery. That's why a lot of people are in misery. This is the honest to God truth of what it truly is. You feel pain? I like to help people in pain. Okay, I like to help people in pain because I went through it and I know what it's like, but not even that sense. We have the inner sense to know that if somebody's going through pain and we want to help. The reason why we want to help is to fix it back to the love source of what it is. That's why God upholds that peace and joy, because it brings us joy and peace within it. And that is what holds it together. And if it wasn't for that, it wouldn't hold together. That's why on certain times it has to be done, but He lets us be how we are until it actually needs to be, because this existence He'll hold, but He won't hold it not being in existence. So He'll only do it when it hits the nitty-gritty, but it's all up to us when it does that. And it shows us how much He would love us as a race anyway. So then in the future, we might not even exist because of our actions, because of this. So we might just incarnate other places, right? Other things. But then this itself, of what God made, we can uphold because it was too much to handle, that something infiltrated it and thought it was better than us. Are you going to let something infiltrate you and think it's better than you? Or are you going to stand up for what's real inside your heart? It's been 2 weeks since I even worn this crystal. And holy moly. I connect right back, and this is all information, just like I told you. Love with your heart, sing with your mind. Put your intentions out into the universe. Bring it back. Make things happen in the physical. Change your land. Your land is all that your earth upholds for you on. That's what it is. All you got to do is do that. It's not complicated. That is not rocket science. What this process is you're falling short of that key ingredient. It's been taken away from you. You accepted everything else but that key ingredient. That key ingredient now has to be put first. When it is, it'll change everything. Because that's the only thing that making it the way it is. Otherwise, if it wasn't that way it is that was going to be controlled, we wouldn't be this way it is today. It would be normal, like every other life the way it is. But us. Because us, obviously we did something wrong.